thought I'd have a go at making a really delicious carrot cake today. Now this carrot cake is packed with flavours, really beautiful flavours and spices, and it comes out delicious and moist. It is just wonderful. Now what we're going to do, first of all, is to go through the ingredients we're going to use. So just to go through the ingredients, now first of all, I've got all my spices laid out, and I'm going to use a teaspoon measurement for each of those. First of all, we've got 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then we've got 2 teaspoons of sort of allspice. Then we've got some self-raising flour. I've got 250 grams of self-raising flour, 400 grams of just sort of normal white sugar, 4 eggs, and then we've got 300 ml, which is roughly 10 fluid ounces of vegetable oil. Now next of all, I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Then we've got 15 to 20 ounces of crushed and drained pineapple. Now mine actually come out of a can, and the can weighed 432 grams. That's a standard sort of can. Then we've got grated carrots, 270 grams of those, so that's about 4 or 5 medium-sized carrots, 165 grams of raisins, 120 grams of walnuts. Now with the walnuts, I just put them into a blender and sort of blipped them up a little bit, make them fairly fine really. And then finally, we've got some coconut flakes, 35 grams. So there's all the ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is get myself a bowl, and I'm going to start sieving the flour just to try and get some air in there. So I've got myself a bowl, good sized bowl. Now I've got my flour there, and what we're going to do is sieve it. So just put it through there. And the idea of this is just to get some air in there. Now at the same time I'm doing that, I've got all my sort of spices. You can just pour those in as well. Let's just make sure we get it all in there. And again, just tap it, lift it up a little bit. And so the idea is try and get some air into the mixture. It's worth using a big bowl, otherwise you can get it all over the table and the floor. There you go. All done. So next of all, I'm going to just move this bowl aside, and we're just going to get another bowl, and we're going to start mixing up the eggs and the sugar and oil and vanilla extract. So let's put the eggs in there, and we'll sort of give those a light beating. Now I've got the 4 eggs there. Try and make sure you don't get any sort of shells in them. Now with the eggs, give them a little bit of a beating. I mean, if you haven't got a sort of mixer like this, just use a fork. Just helps sort of break them up, get them well mixed up really. There you go, that'll do. Then I'm going to change to a wooden spoon, and really I'm just going to put all my sugar in there in one go. And also I've got that vanilla extract. Now let's just again, just sort of lightly mix this really. And once we've got it sort of stir and it's looking like it's mixing up, just kind of mix in the oil really. Now I'm just going to move that bowl out of the way and bring back the one with the flour and all those spices. And then I'm just going to see all this mixture we just mixed up. That's it, mix it as we go. Try and get all that flour mixed up. Now I want to make sure we mix this quite nicely. Get all that flour mixed in with the wet ingredients. And when you're happy, you've got it all nicely mixed, then we can add the rest of the ingredients, like the carrot and the pineapple and stuff like that. There you go, I think that'll do. Then we've got the rest of the ingredients. Obviously got that grated carrot, just put that in, and if you can, just kind of fold it as you go really. Oops. Once you've got one sort of pretty much mixed up, we can add all the pineapple. Try and make sure you drain it. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of the liquid in there, but generally you want to sort of drain it. You don't want too much liquid in the mixture. Then we can put those raisins in. I mean, if you're not keen on some of these ingredients, by all means leave them out. I think really you could do with leaving the pineapple in if you can, because it really helps to make a really nice moist cake. So it's all pretty easy. And then we got that walnut. And I might as well put the coconut in there as well. There we go, got it all in. And I'm just going to give that a good mixing. Just lift it up from the bottom and fold it over as we go. And again, once it's all nicely mixed up, then it's ready to go. As simple as that. There you go, all done. Now I'm going to get myself a sort of baking tin, and I'm going to put some oil around the inside to make sure it doesn't stick. And then, you know, put your oven on, get it preheated, and we can pour this mixture in the tin, put it in the oven, and get it cooking. So I'm just going to use a bit of tissue. Try and get a reasonable, you know, layer of oil everywhere really. There we go. Now I've got my mixture. I hope it's all going to fit in this tin. Let's just pour it in. It's only going to be full up. So I don't know what's going to happen when it cooks, but hopefully it should be alright. Whoa, that's right full. This could be a real disaster. There you go, that's full up. Now I'm going to turn the oven on, get it preheated, whack it in the oven, get it cooking. Now temperature wise, I'm going to put mine at 175 degrees Celsius. Now 175 degrees Celsius is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly gas mark 4. Make sure it's preheated, and I'm going to cook mine for about an hour. So let that get preheated and then we'll put the cake in there. So I've got my oven preheated. Just pull it out a little bit. There you go. Shut the door. And as I say, I'm going to leave mine for around about an hour, and then we're going to test it to make sure it's cooked. Now I've been cooking my carrot cake for 1 hour, so let's have a look. Oh, that is looking lovely, lovely. Let me just pull that out a little bit. Now, I did say I'm going to test it, so let's do exactly that. I've got a knife, but you could use a skewer and just pop it in, pull it out, and have a look at it. Now, there's still a little bit of cake on the knife, so I'm just going to leave mine. I'm going to give mine maybe another 10 minutes, just to make sure. So I'm going to keep mine cooking another 10 minutes. So I've been cooking the carrot cake for a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now after 1 hour, I pulled it out and we had a look at it, put the knife in, and just to see if there was any traces of cake on there, and there was a little bit, so I gave it an extra 10 minutes. Now let's just pull it out again. I'm just going to stick the knife in, have a look. There's still a little bit on there, but I think that's alright. I'm going to pull that out, put it onto the table and let it cool down. Just grab that, because it's hot. Looking good though. So I've taken the cake out of the oven and I'm just going to leave it there. I would say leave it until it's really cooled down for about half an hour. Then I'm going to take it out, put it onto a wire rack, and then once it's thoroughly cooled down, we can actually put a really nice frosting on top and decorate it and make it look beautiful. So give it a good half an hour, let it cool down. So I've left my carrot cake for about half an hour to really cool down. And what we're going to do in a moment is to take it out of that tin, put it on the wire rack because I want it to cool down fully. Now whilst I've been waiting for that to cool down, I've been busy making some carrots. Out of a bit of icing, I've got a bit of dill, look beautiful. They're going to be really nice. Once we sort of frosted up the cake and put the sort of bits of walnut on, we're just going to dress it up with those carrots and it is going to look delish. So what I'm going to do now is to take the cake out of the tin. Now again, just make sure it's not too hot. I reckon we can handle this. Let's just move that out of the way. Just going to put my wire rack there first of all. Now with the cake, I can usually push out the bottom. Got to be careful, because obviously it's where it can all go wrong. Do it nice and gently. I'll do it away from the camera because I want to get my hand underneath it. I think it's just about ready to come, so let's just carefully pop that out. I do like this tin because the fact you can remove the sides off it. Put it on there. Just going to, again, try and slip it off actually, off the base. So, it's just about coming. Take it nice and easy because you don't want it all breaking. Now I'm just going to leave that to really cool down. Now don't worry about that bit in the middle where it's kind of just fallen in because we're going to dress it up anyway and nobody's going to know the difference. I'm just going to carefully move that out of the way because what I want to do is get on with the sort of frosting, the topping we're going to use. So I'll give that a quick wipe down and then we'll get on with the frosting. Now to make this frosting, first of all I've got my butter. I've got about 115 grams of butter and what I've done is just very slightly melted mine in the microwave just for like 10 seconds. So to that I'm just going to add 50 grams of caster sugar, then I'll add roughly about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then I've got some cream cheese. I'm going to use a bit of Philadelphia. This whole tub is 300 grams. I'm going to use 225 grams, so roughly 2/3 of it. Just going to guess it really, doesn't matter too much. That'll do. Yeah, a little bit for luck. And then really we just mix it up, so just get it all blended. I mean obviously you can use a wooden spoon, whatever you like. And once you've got this all mixed up, what I would suggest is to pop it in the fridge and let it cool down a little bit. Look at that, that's looking good already. Straight in the fridge with that. So I've got my cake and I've transferred it from the wire rack very carefully onto a plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress it up on top with that frosting that we've got in the fridge. So I'm going to take it out and we're going to spread it all over, cover that little hole in the middle so nobody knows the difference. So I've got your frosting. Now, I'm just going to put it on top. Get it right round to the edges. Look at that, that bit in the middle's disappeared, nobody knows, except for you lot of course. Now I'm going to change to a knife now, see if I can just get it a little bit more even. Spend a bit of time, just, you know, make it look nice. And again, we're putting the nuts over so you can cover up a multitude of sins. Then I've got the sort of walnut. Now, I actually blended up a little bit extra so that I can just sprinkle it on top. So just give it a little bit of a layer. Because presentation really is half the battle. If you make it look good, they know it's going to taste good. Now I've got my carrots there. They look yummy. Now to make the carrots, I just use a bit of icing and a bit of food colouring. And you really just sort of grab a piece and you sort of, just twist it into shape. It's really simple. You can make the carrots as big as you like. And then get a knife and score it. And put a bit of greenery on it. And it looks good. So that's really simple to do. So let's get my carrots and just put them all the way around. There you go. Now I've got one big carrot and we can just lay that just like that. Actually, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to do something else with that carrot. Now with that other carrot, we've already got a little hole in there. So, like so. And I think I'll just pop this carrot in the middle there. Look at that. That looks beautiful. So all there's left to do now is to eat some. Now before I eat some, I'm actually going to just take a few pictures because it does look really nice, and you know, obviously I need a few pictures. So before I sort of chop it all up, I'm just going to take a few pictures and then we can cut into it and try it. So now I've taken a few pictures. It's a time in the video I really enjoy where we kind of cut open the cake and tuck into it and see what it tastes like. So let's just carefully slice all the way down. Oh yeah. I'm going to cut a thin slice. I reckon we get 12 really yummy slices out of here. Just going to pick this up. It's not completely cooled down, but oh, that is really moist. Let me just bring that a little bit closer. That is delicious. I'm just going to pull this off. My carrot, going to try that. That's nice. That's a lovely, lovely carrot. I should try a bit of this carrot cake. That is grummy, moist. You've got all those lovely flavours: cinnamon, nutmeg, the carrot, and that allspice, got bits of orange in there. That is really good. Try some more. Oh, you'll love it. And that topping's really nice as well, the frosting. I'm going to demolish that bit. It's really nicely cooked. And it's so moist. Oh. That is yummy. You've got to make it. You'll love this. I know it's got a lot of ingredients, but it's really simple to do. It's all gone. And just before I go, I just turn it around so you can kind of see inside it. Look at that. Oh. And there's 12 pieces of that. So if you've got a big crowd, everyone's going to be happy. They all get a carrot, and we'd have lovely sort of walnut topping. You can't go wrong. And it's not too sweet. It's delicious. Thanks again. See you again soon. The original Naked Chef. Now just to go through the ingredients. First of all, I've got my spices in front of me. So I'm just going to go through what we're going to use. Now first of all, I've got teaspoon measurements. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of bitter bacon. Now this carrot cake is going to be packed with flavours and spices, and oh, it's just delicious. Now when it comes out of the oven, it's going to be so moist and delicious. Oh, I've said delicious twice. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg, 1.5 teaspoons of rubbish. So I've made now to that I'm going to add 50 grams of caster sugar, bitter bacon. Thanks to you all the best, the original Naked Chef.